Alright, so I have a 2006 Troy Bilt Bronco. I'm debating on whether to get a new mower. I know I need one, I just don't feel like spending the money on it right now. For the second time I went and it just stopped mowing. I bought the transmission belt, as you can see down here, and it still did it again. So after doing some troubleshooting, I figured out that it was actually this right here. The bearings in here are broken apart. You can take this off right here, these three bolts, and I'm sure if you take it off you'll see that your bearings are broke. And right now I'm actually having pieces falling out. So what's happening, this right here, up hills, especially if you're having problems going slow up hills, or it just isn't going up hills, it doesn't feel like it has much pull, this variable drive pulley right here is seizing up on you. It's not the belt. Sure, if the belt's frayed you might need a new one too, but I'm finding that this is going to be the most likely cause. So once I take this out right here, I'll see that my bearings are broke. You can actually just take these three bolts out and this one, and put two new bearings in it, and it should be good to go. If you're having problems with that middle piece not moving, you may just need a whole new pulley. In this case, really, you just need the two bearings, probably 10 bucks a piece, and you'll be right ready to go. I'll show you a couple of tools that you're going to need to take it off, but after that, once you get that fixed, it should be good to go. Okay, so first of all, obviously I took the battery out. You're going to need a 7/16 to take that off. Two of my nuts for the battery. There's this little bar that holds on top of the battery. Go ahead and take that off. Take your two screws off. I know there's a tensioning spring for that idler puller right there in going towards the front. What I'm going to do is take that off and put that back on when I'm putting the belts on. Instead of taking the mower deck off, jacking it up, all that, this is actually the easiest way to figure it out. If you don't think it's your belt, I can almost guarantee it's going to be that variable drive pulley, especially if you're going slow up hills. It usually will work fine going straight, but once you start hearing that, and especially if you're getting smoke coming from the front, from your belt, or any kind of squealing noise, it's most likely going to be this idle puller. It's just the bearings inside. So go ahead and get your 7/16, take that battery off, and once you get to this point, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I got the battery out. The easiest way to do it is just take your rear tire off. This would be, if you're looking at the front next to the reverse forward neutral shifter, this wheel right here. Just jack it up a little bit, take a normal jack stand. That's going to be a 1/2 inch on that. So once I took the tire off, obviously I just used it to hold it up. There's two bolts in here, right here, that you're going to want to look at. They both go right here, and that's what actually holds this variable drive pulley in right there. Okay, and that's going to be 10 millimeter. And you can also use this 10 millimeter for these three right here. These three on the outside you're going to want to take off, and that's a 10 millimeter right there. You can also use your 1/2 inch for this bolt right here. So the same bolt that takes off the back wheel, you can use for that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, take these three off and the middle one, and show you probably more than likely what's going on. Okay, so coming around here, took that off, and there you go. There's your problem right there. All those bearings are broken in there. Even the seals on the bearings are broke. There's two bearings inside here. Once you take this off, so you got your three bolts on the outside off and your one in the middle. Once you slide this off, there's going to be two bearings in there and a little pole that they both go on. So you can get those on troybilt.com, or you can get them at most any mower dealership. They may have them in stock. Most of the time they do. You just take those off, put those two bearings back in there, and you're going to want to put your three bolts back on and your middle bolt. Then you put it back in there. On this model, you definitely want to put that bottom drive pulley on there first before you put this back on, because if you try to put that on and put that lower belt on, it won't work. What I'm going to do is take that idler pulley spring out and set that top belt in there, and then I'm just going to pull that spring back onto it. Like I said, if you're getting screeching and smoking from the front, it's more than likely it could be the belt, but more than likely it's going to be your bearings in there. It's actually, I've found, since I've already taken this apart 4 or 5 times, this is the easiest way to do it. Taking the battery out, taking the wheel off, and just taking this off, and you can kind of wiggle the 2 belts off of that, and it goes on just like that again. Just make sure that you always put that bottom belt in while you're putting that in. You can kind of put those 2 on there, slowly screw them on, and leave it kind of loose, and put those on, and then figure out what you want to do with your idler pulley. But that's about it. After that, it should work. Let's hope so. Thank you.